Hi, Adam. I got your helmet here for you. You've already seen some of the photos, but I made some changes since then, and I know we got that deadline for you, so I'm hoping to make this video tonight, get it packed up and sent out to you hopefully tomorrow, and it should be there within a handful of business days. So here's the helmet. All those modeling details, especially the spikes on the side, the rivets and whatnot, also the separation of that front layer in the back, and then of course these spikes on the back came out very nicely painted. You can see the two black lines here, 3 on the top, and then these are of course painted black, as well as these spikes here on the side, just like in all the photos that you sent me. It is smooth. Normally I don't sand the bottom, but because of how large this section was, I went ahead and sanded this and these bottoms as well, just for comfort. Now with the back spikes, these were extremely difficult to print. I was talking to you throughout the process, so you know the printing process was not as easy as it normally could be. Now you can see with just this one, there was a little bit of a short that no matter how many times I printed it, at least one of these would have such an issue, but I did clip it, so it would still have that downward angle like the rest of them. It's a little bit shorter, but still fits in, so should absolutely not be noticeable at a glance or anything like that, but just want to let you know, did the best that I could on that, and then sanded and painted it over, so it still has that spike like the rest of them. Now on the front here, I told you I was going to put in a visor. So initially, I had just done this top section. And like I had told you, this middle bit is black in one of those images, but we had split the model here so that any flex happening with this, when you're putting it on and off, if that was completely like solid, that flex could affect this entire front, which is where, it's thinner than this back piece, so that's where a lot of the stress would be. So we split that, and with the balaclava on it, filled in the back. But I figured, why not go ahead and make the visor fill the top, and the one-way visor fill that middle section, so you still have that black contour to it, as you can see without the light directly on it, and it's still one way. And I think that looks a lot nicer. I think it gives it a more sleek look throughout the piece. So like we said, this is something with a balaclava, so I did bring mine here just so I could show you really quickly. It's actually the balaclava I use when I'm at the range during the winter, so there we go. Get this all lined up. So once that's on, you'd have it tucked into whatever you're wearing. Like I said, we made this one piece, so you can just so there you go. So my head circumference is about the same as yours, and there's a little bit of wiggle room in there, which is good. Always good to have a little extra room to work with. So I've included, first of all, get the tape off these inserts here. Some of these are thicker ones, these are thinner ones. You could split these in half if you need more of them, but I would be very surprised. This helmet, the way it contours the face, there's a little bit of that wiggle room, so you might use some of these to fill in those wiggle areas. Put it on, see where there's a good amount of room that you can fill in without making it hard to put on. I really don't think you'll need more than maybe 2 to 4 of these thin ones placed around to really have it snug on your head when you're moving, so there's no wobble. But just in case, some of these thicker ones that I've pre-cut for you, as well as these skinnier ones, you can attach these into the helmet with hot glue, super glue, whatever you have around. Anything, pretty much anything but Elmer's glue will work. So just put it on, wiggle it around. If there's somewhere where you can feel symmetrical pockets of air wobbling around, toss one of these thin ones in each of those spaces. And if you have to fill in a little more space after you've glued them in, you put it on, there's a little more room. Maybe layer another one directly on top, or start with the thick if there's a good amount of room, and layer the little ones on top for the adjustments. But again, without your head here, those minute adjustments are going to come down to you. And I include these pre-cut in the way that I use them for my personal helmets, so that they're very applicable. The shape doesn't really matter, but I like these little rectangles, especially these you can cut in half if you, for whatever reason, need more of these. Put them wherever you need them. You only need 2 to 4 solid points of contact. I am also going to include this, which is the initial visor I did for just this crossbar here, instead of this entire downward area as well. So if for any reason that you would prefer to have this part left open to the balaclava and only the visor up here, this visor is hot glued in. So you can go in, yank that thing right out, maybe clear out some of the extra glue, and then hot glue this on the inside right up there and return it to that state. Again, I think that this, personally, I think this looks a lot cleaner and really fits the vibe of the helmet. But again, I already had it made. I already tested it out, so I'm going to include it for you just in case you want to decide to use that option. Other than that, I think that covers everything, so I'm going to get it packed up and I'll get it out to you hopefully tomorrow morning. Thanks.